Okay, here we have it. What do we have? I don't know. I guess if you've followed along, this whole build started off with the idea of using a gear motor that has a single axle and putting the gear motor in this leg and having it drive both legs for the walking action. And originally I had the batteries in the other leg, did that. Then it moved on to using a 5.5 timer board that you can buy for like $1.50 somewhere in there, and a little power inverter board to boost any voltage that you might have from your batteries to a solid 5 volts, so the 555 timer is happy. And then I used a double H-bridge motor driver board, again is $1 something, $1.19, something like that, to drive the leg motor or drive the motor for the gears in the chest. And then finally, having found the inexpensive cars for sale on, well, they're all over the place. Amazon had the cheapest, $6.20 some odd cents with free shipping. And I think the one that's in here, I ended up buying off Walmart.com, but I saw the same smoke car, they call it spray car, on AliExpress that I used in this one. So my next project is going to be taking the less expensive one, the one that I found on Amazon for $6.29, and doing a radio controlled one, since the car that they sell you is radio controlled for $6.29 plus has the spray mist function. Why not just use that radio control board, the spray mist thing, and make a radio controlled robot? It'd be a lot easier if any of you guys wanted to make one. In this particular case, I got the arm movement idea from a 1960s robot called Mr. Hustler, which I've done several videos on in the past, a demo video of it and some other odd robots, but also an inside look showing how that robot worked. But I always wanted to do it, so that's why I put that function in here and put some spinning gears in the front. There's a plastic plate between you and the gears to keep them in place. As far as the water vapor unit, the top of the head comes off, then you can get right into the fill port to top it off. And as far as the batteries go, I went with 3 AA batteries and a holder in the back with a door. Like I say, the original one was just testing just the idea of the motor, so I had 2 AAAs in this leg, and that can still be done. But the misting unit and the motor speed control, all that stuff is going to be happier at 4.5 volts, 3 batteries. So that's why I just went ahead and changed this one up to 3. I'm not real happy with the way the head is so large, so blocky. I couldn't really scale it down, because if you watch the video before this one, I show where in the back here I've got the 555 board, a little power boost board, and the H-bid driver all across there, and they stick up a certain amount of distance, as does this gear motor sticks up. So that meant that smoker could only be so low. I couldn't lower it and hit something. So it kind of ended up being there, kind of goofy looking, but that's okay. It was more of a test than anything else. Now the unit from Amazon that's like $6.29, it's a misting unit, atomizer, smoker, whatever you'd like to call it, is looks a little different. I'm thinking maybe I'll put a non-functioning mouth on, or remove the eyes and everything down, and then just put the smoker out the top of the forehead, possibly. Because again, that's a function I haven't seen. Be like a gun or something. So this is the unit off the Amazon one. Now originally it has plastic wings that come on here and stick out and look like an airfoil on the back of the car, and that's like a jet engine out the back of the car. And here's the little control board for it. This is the only part out of the whole car thing I've needed to save, because I can feed it on this wire and this red wire, the black and red wires. That's where I'll put in the 4.5 volts from the 3 AA batteries, and then I can run one motor, say the chest motor, off of that, and I can run right off this green and this blue. I could run the walking motor for walking, and the atomizer already has its own channel for control. The LEDs that they have on this less expensive car from Amazon are being pushed way too hard, and that will do a couple of things. One, it'll burn the LEDs out, but two, it'll also shorten your battery life. They only have like a 10 ohm resistor, and the two LEDs are in parallel, running off that 4.5 volts. So I'm going to end up putting, since I just need the LEDs, I'll probably keep them for the eyes. I'll probably put a 330, somewhere up in there, 220, 330 ohm resistor in series with them. They'll still be plenty bright. They'll only be drawing, 10 milliamps or so at that point, instead of whatever they're drawing now is so much that you actually feel the LEDs getting hot. So it's just a bad design. I guess I could follow it back, and well, the little resistors right there. I stuck an ohm meter across it and it said 10 ohms. So. And this one's got a fill port on top, so I'm thinking if I did redesign the head so all that stuff moves down and this was basically up close into the top of the head, then this would be easier to fill because it could be right on top. So we'll see. I'll fool around with the idea of doing the radio controlled one using this cheaper RC misting unit guts. But this was just step one, was something to try. And it turned out and worked okay.